Okay, welcome back to my channel. I recently just saw the new Batman movie, and I have a lot to say about it, both good and bad. So just to make this quick, let's just jump right into it with the things I liked. So first I have to preference with saying that, in spoiler warning, I guess, I don't really know if I'm going to go over any spoilers, but you've been warned. So when I was watching the movie, I was very confused because in the beginning of the movie, I think Batman said in his monologue, and what a entrance, what a intro. That was the best Batman intro I've ever seen in a movie. The tone was just dark, and then it gave me Seven vibes, if you ever seen the movie Seven. It was very dark. The soundtrack was amazing. Anyway, so in the beginning he said, "This is my second year of being Batman," or something like that. And apparently I missed that. Like, I don't know, I guess I wasn't paying attention, or it just went right over my head. So throughout the movie I was so confused because I thought this was an experienced Batman. Like, I thought this Batman has been in the game for a minute now. He knows what he's doing, blah blah blah. And then throughout the movie I'm like, why is he whining? Why is he fighting like such a newbie? Like, I was so confused. But it wasn't until after the movie when my friend told me, "Oh yeah, no, that was like, he's a new Batman. Like, he just started doing this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So, but part of the reason why I didn't like it in the beginning after watching it was because of that, is because I was confused. But you know, it's been a few days now and it's grown on me, and I actually really like the movie for a lot of different reasons. So I like that they're exploring a different side of Batman. Because usually, you know, we get this very superhero, you know, fighting bad guys part, and we forget that he's actually a very smart person, as smart, maybe even smarter than Tony Stark. And in this movie, it takes time to explore the detective side of Batman, and I like that. I found it very pleasant because we never really get to see that side of Batman. It did take up most of the movie, but I'm not complaining because I'm assuming they're going to make sequels, and I think with the sequels we get, we're going to explore different sides of Batman as well. So I really like that aspect of this movie. It was very grounded as well, very unique. It's a comic book movie. It's not a superhero movie. It's like, you don't get the same vibe that you get with the Christopher Nolan movies, with The Dark Knight, and even with Ben Affleck's Batman. Like, it's a very real life Batman. Like, this is the kind of Batman, the closest we'll get to if there was ever a real life Batman. Okay, so I really like that. Like I said, the score was beautiful. Man, I for that night I looked up the soundtrack on Spotify and had it on repeat a few times. It's that good. It's very unique. Probably the best superhero score since, man, probably Wonder Woman. I don't know. It's really good though. And oh my gosh, the looks of this movie is so beautiful. Like, the angles, some of the shots, it's just perfect. I'm not that familiar with Matt Reeves and his work, but my God, he does a good job with this movie. He does an excellent job of capturing that Gotham City vibe, New York, Gotham City, grimy, just, you know, dirty, dark. And this just brings me back to the opening sequence. It's so perfect, the monologue and everything. They're not afraid. What did he say? He said, "They think I'm the shadows, or they're afraid of me because of the shadows." Something like that. It's just perfect. It's the first 15 minutes was just everything that Batman is. So that was awesome. Great writing and great acting. Can't really say much about the acting and whatnot. It was all believable, all made sense to me. I also like that the Batman was very vulnerable in this movie. Like I said, it wasn't very superhero-y where he seems invincible, you know. But he takes some shots here, and he feels like a real human being, you know, which Batman is supposed to feel like because he is a real human being. And that brings me to what I didn't like about this movie, was that Robert Pattinson looks like a normal human being when he's not supposed to be a normal human being. Like, this guy in the Batman suit, yeah, he looks big and strong, and that's obviously he does, because of the suit makes him look like he has muscles. When he takes the suit off, it's like, bro, you're just another regular guy. Like, bro, I have the same build as Robert Pattinson. Like, he doesn't look strong at all. For Batman, dude, you have to be ripped. Not ripped, but you have to be buff, like big. Christian Bale did it, Ben Affleck did it. It's common sense. If you're gonna play a superhero, especially a superhero with no powers, you have to look super, like as humanly super as you can get. And he does not. He's as skinny as a normal regular dude, and that was very distracting, to be honest with me. It took me out, and I didn't like the look of his Bruce Wayne. Don't get me wrong, I get it. He's very new at this, so both when he's Bruce Wayne and both when he's Batman, he has the same demeanor, he has the same cadences, and that makes sense. He hasn't really adopted that Bruce Wayne playboy persona yet, but I just don't like the look. He looks so emo and gothy. I wasn't digging it, but at the same time, like I said, I understand that he's new to this, he's learning, and that's something we haven't seen before, so we can't really say, or at least we haven't seen in live action. And me personally, I don't feel comfortable, judging that, because like I said, I've never seen it before. There's also this part where he with the bomb part with the guy with the bomb around his neck, and it was so unrealistic because Batman was like an inch away from this guy's face, against 1 inch away from the bomb. The bomb blew up. Batman gets knocked out, or he gets flown across the room as he should, and then the camera pans to him, and his face is fine, like nothing, bro. His face is so clean. I'm like, yeah, a bomb is gonna knock you unconscious and throw you 20 feet across the room, but it's also gonna mess up your face real bad, and in this scene it doesn't. So that was super unrealistic. I was like, bro, that took me out of the movie a little bit. It's like, come on, like, it's a Batman, but like I said, he's human, yeah, Bruce Wayne is right. Just look at my notes here. Yeah, oh yeah, Batman also, he doesn't really do a lot of Batman things here besides being a great detective. Like, he has gadgets like the contact lenses and like I guess you would call like his logo a gadget, but he really doesn't use that many gadgets in this movie. Like, Batman's known for being a really smart guy and creating a lot of these smart not toys, but toys, gadgets, things like that, and he doesn't really use that much of them. And there's this thing on his wrist, which it was obvious, whatever it was, it looked like things that you could probably shoot out or something. I don't know what it was, but I was waiting for him to use them. And if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he had these they looked like arrows around his wrist, but he never used them, and that was just shocking to me. I kind of wanted to see more of that. I also didn't buy the romance between him and Catwoman. It just, when they kissed, I felt nothing. Maybe that's because I'm just desensitized to romance at this point, but I wasn't buying it. Like, I don't think it was fleshed out enough. And that brings me to my next part, which the movie is long, like long. There were some moments in this movie where I was expecting it to end, but it just kept going and kept going. I was like, okay, they're gonna catch Carmine Falcone here and they're gonna end the movie. Nope, kept going. But I was still entertained, don't get me wrong, but I did check my phone, a few times, to be honest with you. There's also this line in this movie when Batman was talking about, I don't know, the politicians and corruption in the city, and she mentioned white privilege, and I just felt that was very forced. It just didn't seem authentic, but that wasn't that big of a deal. It was this movie wasn't that political, to be honest with you. They did race swap Catwoman and Commissioner Gordon, which it didn't take me out of the movie. I mean, Catwoman has been black before. Gordon has it, but I'm kind of biased because I like the actor who played him. He's also in Westworld, which I adore that show. But anyway, wrapping up here, I also didn't understand the moral of the story, because for me, it seemed like in the beginning, the way Batman was doing things was the way he was supposed to do things, is to instill fear into criminals so that they don't commit crimes. But it seems like towards the end, he's like, no, I don't need to do that. I need to leave that behind. And instead, I need to be a hope for people. And I was like, well, why can't you do both? And correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole thing about Batman is him being this dark knight, like this, not really anti-hero, but this hero who he uses fear as a weapon, right? So he can't just abandon that and be this this Superman-esque type of hero who is a signal, is a sign of hope. Batman isn't just a sign of hope. You can't lose that element of fear, that strategy that he uses to against criminals and against his enemies. So I didn't understand the moral. Maybe I just need to rewatch it again, but I hope that wasn't what they were going for. I hope they don't abandon that fear element of Batman. And like I said, you can be a signal of hope as along with being being a signal of fear for your criminals as well. So who knows? I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll make another video. But those were my thoughts. Overall, I liked it. I respect it. I respect the crap out of that movie, because Batman has been done so many times in live action, and for them to come in and just drop a banger on us, man, it was fantastic. So I guess I would rate it number 2 overall, just right behind Dark Knight. It's gonna be so hard to top Dark Knight. It's just, I really honestly don't ever see a superhero movie or a Batman movie beating Dark Knight. But that's my ranking: Dark Knight and then the Batman. If you haven't already seen it, go check it out. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not into like superhero movies, like, this is a good detective crime story. Like, it really is. Like, factually speaking, it's a good crime drama detective story. It just has Batman in it. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. See you later. Bye.